Hey everybody, welcome back to Doomsday Help. Today we're going to discuss the zombie apocalypse and why it is not a reason for the world to end on December 21st, 2012. But we need to begin by setting up a definition which we will use throughout this video for what a zombie or an undead thing is. Number one, zombies are dead. That means their brain does not work and they cannot think. But that's not to be confused with other undead creatures like Frankensteinian monsters or mummies. Zombies are mindlessly walking bodies that are driven by instinct for food, which is our brain and our bodies and meat that we have within us. George Romero's 1968 release of the film The Night of the Living Dead is what really popularized zombies in American culture today. But Romero's zombies were not dead, they were infected by radiation from a satellite, and these are the type of zombies which are more worrisome than dead zombies, because if you're walking around dead, eventually the sun will burn you and you will not have any food left to eat. But the infected zombies, their brain is still active, and so there is some trace of intelligent thought still occurring. I've prepared a quick clip for the viewing pleasure of the audience of Romero's version of his dead people. The word zombie originated in Haitian folklore from Bokors, or Haitian wizards, which would use their magical powers to make a victim eat this powder which had neurotoxins in it, and one of the neurotoxins was called tetrodotoxin, which came from a pufferfish. And tetrodotoxin is a neurotoxin that infects the bloodstream, paralyzes the body, makes the person seem dead. And so once the families buried the body, the Bokor, the Haitian wizard, would return and unbury the body, and the victim would think themselves a zombie. But we only have one actual historical piece of evidence that we can use from Clairvius Narcisse. In 1962, he died and was found 18 years later just wandering around a village. And when he was questioned, he said that he thought he was a zombie. So yeah, that's pretty cool and interesting and all, but it's still not a supporting argument for a zombie apocalypse. For a zombie apocalypse to happen and to wipe off all civilization on the face of the planet, then they would need to be raging mad and eating our brains and running around causing havoc and all sorts of stuff. These Haitian zombies were just wandering, aimless human beings that thought they were really a zombie because they had died and brought back to life, but they weren't really dead, they were just infected by the neurotoxin. I think one thing's pretty cool. You can go onto the CDC website, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and find an actual article that has advice for surviving the zombie apocalypse. And so if you don't believe me and you don't believe this video, you can go to that website. I'll include it in the description, and you can find out for yourself how you could really survive the zombie apocalypse. We'll end our time here today by looking at one last kind of seemingly realistic, though far off their fetched idea of a real zombie apocalypse happening, which are caused by proteins called prions. Prions are strange little misfolded proteins which eat away at our brain and our nervous system, and it's passed along from animal to animal from the consumption of nervous tissues like cow beef and human meat. That's right, cannibalism. Now the reason we want to worry about prions is because they are the neurodegenerative disease that will just start eating away at our brains until it is nothing but a sponge, and we do not want our brains to be a sponge. So the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease is the closest we got to there being zombies, but even then we're not dead and we're not walking around trying to eat other people's brains. We're just very spongy. It's very rare. It's not contagious, so don't worry. I hope this video has found all of you out there interested in knowing why there can't be a realistic zombie apocalypse. I hope you all tune in next Thursday when we discuss Christianity and the study of eschatology. But until then, be excellent to one another. I'll see you Thursday.